Hello dear students, I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome back to social science class. Today we will discuss chapter 3, the Sultans of Delhi. Under this chapter we will be discussing about the 5 dynasties, that is the Slave dynasty, the Khilji dynasty, the Tughlaq dynasty, the Sayyid dynasty, and lastly the Lodi dynasty. Let us get started. Delhi first became the capital of a kingdom under the Tomara Rajputs, who were defeated by Chauhan, also called Chahamanas of Ajmer. The transformation of Delhi into a capital that controlled a vast area of the subcontinent started with the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate at the beginning of the 13th century. The rule of the Delhi Sultanate can be divided into 5 distinct periods on the basis of dynastic rule. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak was the general of Muhammad Ghori. Ghori appointed Aibak as the viceroy of his Indian conquest. Muhammad Ghori died in 1206 CE. As he left no descendants, his viceroys declared themselves independent. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak claimed the Indian territories, which included Punjab, Sindh, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, and present-day Bihar and Bengal. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak laid the foundation of the slave dynasty. The rulers were also called Mamluk Sultans, which ruled over the subcontinent for about 84 years. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, Shamash-ud-Din Iltutmish, and Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban were the great sultans of the dynasty. Balban was succeeded by weak rulers. Hence, the throne of Delhi was taken over by the Khiljis. We have seen in more detail about the rulers in our online class, and we have seen about Razia Sultana, who was the first and last woman who sat on the throne of Delhi. As an activity, you can make a timeline for the 5 dynasties of the Delhi Sultanate. Now, I will give you a summary of Alauddin Khilji's rule. External frontier was the next phase of expansion, which started with Alauddin Khilji in southern India. Alauddin Khilji was the most important ruler of Khilji dynasty. He introduced the system of market control and administrative measures in order to maintain a large standing army. Alauddin Khilji made an attempt to reassess, systemize, and unify land revenue and urban taxes and to institute a highly centralized system of administration over his real. He rated the kharaj to 50% of the produce and introduced direct collection. He also imposed taxes on cattle and houses. Accordingly to Ziauddin Barani, a contemporary chronicler, the revenue collectors were ordered to demand the revenue with such rigor that the peasants were forced to sell their standing crops to meet the tax demands. Tax from the dobe areas was spent on paying cash salaries to the soldiers. Alauddin Khilji also controlled the prices of the commodities, as he had to maintain the large army at a minimum cost. He fixed the prices of all commodities from grain to cloth, slaves, cattle, etc. A controller of the market called the Shahan-e-Mandi and intelligence officers known as Braids were appointed to implement the market control measures. He established granaries in Delhi and Rajasthan to collect grains from the grain merchants. Thus, this was the rule of Alauddin Khilji with special mention to market reforms and administration. Activity: find out the ruler who introduced the Persian customs of Sidab and Paibos. Now, let us discuss about the Tughlaq dynasty. The important rulers of the Tughlaq dynasty included Ghiyas-ud-Din Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Firoz Tughlaq. Like Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Tughlaq also raised a large standing army. He led campaigns to Kalanur and Peshawar, aimed at securing the northwestern frontier of the Sultanate against future Mongol attacks. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the most learned Sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. He was a lover of art, a scholar of philosophy, mathematician, astronomy, physical sciences, a brilliant calligraphist, and a fairly good poet. Muhammad bin Tughlaq introduced 3 projects. First, shift of capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Second, introduction of token currency. Third, raising of land tax in the Doab region to 50%. In our online class, we have seen why these projects failed. After the Tughlaqs, the Sayyid dynasty followed by the Lodi dynasty continued to rule from Delhi and Agra until 1526. But the control of the Delhi Sultans was only over a small region neighboring Delhi. Regions like Jaunpur, Bengal, Malwa, Gujarat, Rajasthan and the entire South India had independent rulers. They not only established flourishing states but also enjoyed autonomous existence. Therefore, in the chapter The Sultans of Delhi, we have discussed about the start of Delhi Sultanate, which lasted for 300 years from 1206 to 1526 CE, and the 5 successive dynasties which ruled over Delhi, such as the Slaves, the Khiljis, the Tughlaqs, the Sayyids and the Lodi dynasties. That's it, dear students. I hope all of you will do the activity. See you soon. Thank you.